Good afternoon, y'all. This is the Jordan Whittington Show, starring my special guest, Serenity. welcome, welcome to another episode. Be sure to like and subscribe. And we're in for a good one.
Good. You did good. Look, y'all, Jordan made me put on my shades because we're gonna be shady today. His introduction could use a little bit of work, but you guys know the deal because you guys come from all of the other interviews. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Orangebloods Texas football YouTube channel. Let's talk spring ball. Let's talk spring ball. When you make me wear shades in the house, I'm telling you I feel shady. So tell me the vibes around spring ball. It was a late game at 6 o'clock. What did you get up and do?
I got up, I pushed my little routine back a little bit because we didn't have to be there till later. I did the same thing. Then we got to do an autograph signing for a lot of fans. So that was cool, to meet all the fans and take pictures with kids and stuff. And then it just went into like a game day routine. So it felt good. It gave me like the vibe of a game day with all the fans out there. And it was exciting. I liked it.
Is that how this is my first spring game. So is that how the spring game usually is? Because it was definitely game vibes.
That was probably the most game vibey type spring game I've had. But just all the stuff building up to it just definitely gave it like the vibe that we're about to go out there and play somebody for real.
Yeah, I feel that. And Coach Sark said that he limited a couple players, not just you, limited Xavier Worthy, Bijan Robinson. Mm-hmm. And how did you feel about that?
That was, their decision. So I don't really know how to feel about it, but that's just, kind of how it goes sometimes. And you keep some of your people safe. And there's some people that you want to evaluate that you aren't sure about yet. And I think that's one of the ways to do it. Let somebody get more playing time because you need to evaluate him more than somebody else. So I think that's kind of what it's for.
I feel that. I like that he did that because every time you got hit, I was like, I don't want anything to happen before we get to the real juicy stuff, which is in the fall. So I was like, look, in Sark I trust. Take Xavier out, take Jordan out. Like we know what they can do. We don't need to show off right now.
Yeah.
But the short time that you were in, how did you feel like you did?
I think I did good, to be honest. I think I made the plays when they came to me, and I think I did a lot of things to help my teammates. So that's always good, And I was pretty vocal, and the energy was good. So yeah, I would say I did pretty good.
Why do you have to be so awkward about it?
It's hard talking about myself because I don't know, but yeah.
You need to come on here, you need to go ahead and situate that within yourself, because come fall, after you do well at whatever game it is, you need to come on here I did exactly what I needed to do.
I like to do that about other people. I like to talk about other people.
Okay, so let's talk about some other people who did well.
I think Jonathan Brooks did really good. He's from my area, so I'm always shout him out. He did really good. Anthony Cook, who else? Xavier, Isaiah. I think my whole room did good, to be honest. And who else? The offensive line as a unit did good too.
Absolutely.
Boys are doing their thing, man.
And y'all are going into phase 3. That's what Coach Sark called it, which is you guys finishing up school, going into summer conditioning May 31st. And he said that he will try to meet with everyone individually. Now, when I was on the track team, we used to have these meetings too. It's kind of just like a check-in.
Yeah.
So I really just want you to put in perspective what the meetings are like with Coach Sark and why they're important.
Yeah, so like you said, they're kind of just like a check-in, and just to let you know kind of where you're at, in like the middle of, all the phases, if that makes sense. But it's a good thing to, meet with like the head guy, get time with just him alone and see his perspective on you and what you need to work on and what you've been doing good. I think that's a good thing to do, to meet with every player individually.
All right, I understand that. Let's talk on a serious note, mental health, because we have talked about it before. Yeah. And I've been most recently seeing some tragedies that's been happening within the student athlete community. And I just want to bring some awareness to it. So do you feel like Texas has helped when it comes to resources in terms of mental health?
Oh, yeah, I do. Honestly, yeah. I think there's a lot of resources you can get, but the thing is, you have to be the person to bring awareness to that, Exactly. You can't just suffer in silence and then be mad when you don't get help if you don't reach out, because it's definitely there. I think Texas does a good job of pushing that, that they do take it serious, and I'm glad they do, because that is like a really important thing coming from somebody that's actually been through problems with mental health. So I think Texas definitely does a great job of it, and I think my team, the football team individually, does a good job of checking up on people and their wellness and how they're doing. And I think our team is pretty good mental health wise.
And what are some of the right?
You never know. So.
Okay, you never know.
Yeah.
But what are some of the things that student athletes go through, just from firsthand experience or just from things that you have seen yourself that student athletes go through that could be tough?
I would say one of the main things would be pressure, like external pressure from trying to be what other people think you should be. That would probably be one of the main things. And then something not going your way. Well, actually, something not going their way. And now you feel like you're not who you're supposed to be. That would probably be one of the biggest things. I think I struggled with that early on, just having like a lot of hype and then it not going the way it was supposed to go. And now I think like you think you failed, but no, you didn't. You just got put into some adversity. So that could be one thing. What else? Being on like the same routine every day, I think that could do things to some people, especially when you're coming straight out of high school. I think that definitely could do something to people. Being from a different state, I've seen that mess with people for a little bit.
Like missing family.
Yeah, for sure. What else? And just being in your own shell and not opening up or like making close friends with people on your team or people within the school. I've seen that, like people become antisocial and they don't want to reach out to people and talk about how they feel. But yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen, because at the same time you're playing the sport, and then you got like these three phases that are your life basically, is your sport, your social life, and your academic life. And if like one of those gets messed up, then it's hard to keep the other ones going, smoothly. So those things right there are probably the most important things when it comes to like the most common things I've seen.
Absolutely. And even just dealing with sports identity, like you were saying, when things aren't going right, and this is the only thing that you're used to. Like all of my friends are in a sport. My identity, what I eat, what I like drink, who I talk to is all built around track and field. And when things aren't going your way, when they're not taking you to certain games or certain track meets, soccer games, whatever it could be, that messes with your mental, because who are you hanging out with? Who's checking on you? Things like that. And what I've seen a lot in just like women and being on a women's team, dealing with the body changes that happen in college, that freshman 15 hits hard because it could be 15, it could be 20, and people don't really tell you about that. But then that goes back into you're not your old self where you were like able to eat what you wanted and go out and run, and it could be perfectly fine. Now all of a sudden, if you do bad on a test or if you eat a certain thing, that can affect your craft. And it's like you said, a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It definitely does not get talked about enough. And the way people kind of pass it off is, well, you signed up for this. And well, everybody has to deal with the same thing. And so-and-so was able to get over it. So like, why can't you? Everyone's struggles are different. And it's definitely something that needs to be talked about. And the reason why we say it needs to be talked about, so people don't feel like what they're going through is abnormal. Yeah. You know what I mean? Everybody always talks about like, well, what are we talking about if we're not going to do anything? Yes, doing things helps, but also bringing an awareness to it can help people realize like, oh, wow, like you went through that too. I was feeling the same way. And like you said, it was the routine thing that got me. Yeah. Having to see, like, shout out to Coach Flo for being a great coach, but he wanted to see us Sunday to Sunday. Every single day. There was not a day that went by where I was not seeing that man's face.
I know how it goes.
That was draining.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things for me when I was younger is the effect that like fans can have on you and like people's opinions can have on you. I don't think fans and external people like outside of the school understand what they can do like to someone's mental,
Absolutely.
Most of the time the player is going to see what you're saying. And, like if you're bashing them online, it's really I'm strong now mentally, so I know what it is now. But for like someone younger that's not as strong and looks at all that stuff and takes it seriously, it really can mess them up.
Absolutely.
Now they see themselves as what you said they were just because of one mistake. And I think people, if you're watching this, you need to you need to watch what you say. Yeah, you need to understand that. Yeah, because I think a lot of fans and people, man, they see the players as like an athlete or like just what's the word? Just an item, kind of.
Just an item.
Yeah, that doesn't have emotions or doesn't read what you're saying and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just think if you wouldn't tell that person in person that, then I would keep it to yourself.
Absolutely.
I would never go to somebody's job and just
tell them how to do their job.
Yeah, and that they're horrible, and especially if I've never done it. And like now, where I'm at now, I only listen to the opinions of people that have done it before, have literally coached somebody personally to do it, or that know me personally. Like my mom ain't never played football, don't know nothing about it, but I'm gonna listen to it because I love her. Like that's my mom, but I'm not listening to some dude behind the screen, profile picture, nothing. He got 3
behind a bot.
I'm just not gonna listen to you. So why are you wasting your time? But there are players that will listen to what you're saying and take it personally. And then it's hard to find yourself when you got people, when you're doing good, they're there, and then when you're not, they hate you. And it's just too much. Like
absolutely. Like, especially someone dealing with injuries.
Yeah.
They were tearing you down as if you went out there and was like, I'm just gonna break my collarbone today. And
that's one of the problems I used to have. Like people still do it. Come up to me, man, stay healthy, man. I'm like, I didn't really go out there. Like today, I'm gonna dive at the ground and break my collarbone. I never would do that. So like, that's one thing that kind of gets me like, they'll come up, man, stay healthy, right? I'm like, man, I'm doing all I can, but I promise. I want to tell everybody right now, I promise I've never intentionally went out on the field and said, you know what, today, I think I'm gonna end my season. Like I'll never do that. So No, I agree. That used to be like my mom's thing. She used to be like, well, Serenity, just run through the line. Yes.
I'm like, girl, I have lactic acid. Like, what do you think I meant to? Man, it's tough. It definitely is tough. And it's really easy for people to just say, well, don't read the comments. Well, start reading the comments. And I had to explain to even my parents, because like I said, like they don't really understand. They would be like, well, Serenity, don't read the comments. It's like something that you used to go to that used to be fun, like Instagram, Twitter, social media used to be fun. Now all of a sudden, just because you got to a certain stature, you have to change what you're doing because people are deciding to be nasty.
Yeah.
But it's like, or they can just stop being nasty. And I can enjoy posting what I want or doing whatever else it is.
Yeah.
So it's definitely tough.
Yeah.
But this was good. This was good, Jordan. Y'all stop calling him Mr. Glass. Stop it. You don't like that. It is not
shady.
funny.
I'm being shady today.
We're being shady today. I like this. All right, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Jordan Whittington Show. Turn on the alert so that you guys can know every single time I am posting. I do athlete interviews every single week. So why not check it out? And why not Texas? Period.